We have two kids, and we, being both educators, coming from kind of an academic background, we're looking for clothes that sort of fit that. There wasn't anything for like our daughter who was starting to like archaeology. There just wasn't anything that was really hitting the mark. It started off with us just creating a few for ourselves. So we did a few and then realized, wait a minute, if we want this, there's probably endless parents out there that want this as well. We'd spend a few $100s, let's say, on an ad on Instagram, and we would get a 10,000 visit or whatever we'd get, and we would almost sell nothing. And I was like, man, what is going on? We're kind of in the beginning stages of it. We've done like some free promos. We've had some people that are following us, but we're kind of in the learning process here and trying to figure out what works.
Welcome to the Afluencer Podcast. We are talking kids' clothing market with opportunities for influencers, especially those in the parenting and education realms. We have Mark Boehme with us today. He is the owner and founder of BrightSee. Mark, welcome to the show, and let's get right into it. What inspired you and Katie to start BrightSee?
Well, thanks for inviting me to this. Look forward to this podcast and answering these questions. So that first one, what inspired us? Well, we have two kids, and we, being both educators, coming from kind of an academic background, we're looking for clothes that sort of fit that. We both love Disney. We love the Marvel Universe. We love sporting teams and all that stuff. And there's endless apparel out there that kind of meet that need. And what we found was there wasn't anything for like our daughter who was starting to like archaeology. And there were a few shirts out there. There was like a young Einstein shirt. There's a few, but there just wasn't anything that was really hitting the mark. And it started off with us just creating a few for ourselves. I had a bit of a background in it, knew how to do some of the print on demand and kind of design some stuff and get it going. So we did a few and then realized, wait a minute, if we want this, there's probably endless parents out there that want this as well. And then went from that, pivoted into a business.
Yeah, very cool. Yeah, because not only educators like yourselves, but I mean, parents like us. My daughter's got the dress with the solar system on it right. And I hear you. There's not enough of that. I mean, we went to Disney for spring break. I mean, there's plenty of that types of stuff, but you want things that are, it's great to have the educational clothing. So, what strategies have been successful in terms of getting BrightSee in front of families who share your values? I mean, it's a great idea. You got, of course, I'm nodding my head as a parent, but there's also, I know that this marketing challenge where you've got an archaeology dress or shirt. How do we get it out there? Because you're not necessarily buying Google ads right on archaeology shirts for kids. You're sort of creating the market, but then you have to do it in a cost-effective way. So it's tricky to create. I don't want to say create the demand because the demand's out there, but you almost have to like tap the demand, right? So whether you're going into parent
And that's
things.
Yeah, and I think that's been one of our really big struggles is that with other starting clothing brands that kind of start like in a niche, they have one or two designs, right? They're hitting a super hard niche. They're like some sort of like fly fishing Alaska, and it's like some weird expression they use, and that's it. They have it in a hat, they have it on a hoodie. That's all they do. So like what you're just saying, we can't really go buy Google ads for just archaeologists or just future etymologists or what, like it's wide. We have a whole like biomes section, future farmer. So it is tricky. It has been tricky. I do not have an answer for you on like how to solve that problem. Influencers is going to be a huge. We're moving in that direction, trying to get more steam. And then, I mean, things that have worked in the very beginning, I don't think we took the site very seriously. And we realized that was a big thing. And so before you even kind of do a marketing campaign, you want to make sure, you have your product, it's good to go. You have your site, that's good to go. And then hit the marketing. So strategies that we were using beforehand, I feel were really not as effective because any traction we were gaining to the site was falling off. So we would spend all this money, and when I spend all this money, we'd spend a few $100s, let's say, on an ad on Instagram, and we would get a few thousand, 10,000 visit or whatever we'd get, and we would almost sell nothing. And I was like, man, what is going on? And it was either the product was terrible, or to me, the site was terrible, or we were attracting the wrong people. And I think that of those three, it was really that the site wasn't converting, so we had to go back to that. And then we just finished that. We finished the Shopify store, got it sort of professionally more done. We got all of our stuff linked up, like Google Merch, Instagram, TikTok, like all of these things out there that, even though we had hired a coach to help us, didn't really tell us about that stuff. We kind of had to learn on our own. So we've gotten all of those pieces together and then now are sort of hitting the digital market and trying to go with like put this all together and see how it plays out. So I don't really have a great answer for you. We're kind of in the beginning stages of it. We've done like some free promos. We've had some people that are following us. We've said, hey, we'll throw out a shirt to you guys if you're willing to make a post. That has attracted some people, and then in turn, they've asked to do a giveaway. Like they wanted to do a post, and then said, hey, would you mind if we do a giveaway? And I've been like, absolutely, do a giveaway. We'll give you free stuff, which has turned into some more posts. But we're kind of in the learning process here and trying to figure out what works.
Yeah, very cool. And it's cool to talk to you at this point because I think that's more common than anyone thinks or knows, especially from the outside, where I mean, a coach even doesn't necessarily know because nobody really knows your market, right, until they're into it. And how do you establish demand?
Yeah,
Or you've got your science collection, I see, which is very cool, math collection of these shirts, and you're trying to get in front of people kind of in a passive way, right? Where you want the to click with parents. We're like, oh yeah, that's what I want, my kids to
yeah,
wear, or at least I want to pitch them on the future heliophysicist toddler short. Well, the toddlers you can just get them in anything, right? So that's
yeah.
but it's a matter of getting in front of the parents who want this type of clothing and doing that in kind of yeah, a passive way. So on the collab, then let's talk on the influencer side, and we will for our influencers watching, listening. We get a link to BrightSee's collab in the show notes for you, so you can click to apply, and then Mark can approve you and get you introduced there. We're looking for educators, Mark, and then also parenting influencers can get into, I guess, who we're
Yeah,
looking for on the collab side.
yeah, definitely. I mean, ideally, people that have kids so that we can send them products and they can put them on their kids. But I mean, even if they don't, but they want to just talk about, maybe it's someone that's in education that's doing science or chemistry or something. It's like, oh man, these are, cool. We don't currently have any adult sizes, but we've thought about moving that into adult. There's some shirts that I would like to wear, and I know that as a teacher, it'd be cool to wear. Like if you are a chemistry teacher or a history teacher, you might want to wear some of these shirts. So we've thought about moving. Not there yet, but we probably will have adult sizes eventually.
Yeah, very cool. Yeah, that's a neat idea as well to get the like you said on the teachers. I'm just kind of looking through the site here now as well.
I will say when you were talking about some of that stuff, and then like we mentioned before, I can't go do a bunch of Google ads on all the various things. But what I didn't realize that we have tried to do more of, which is in SEO, and I hadn't realized at first, and I forget where this came from. It was advice from someone, but like we have a shirt that's a future author's shirt, and it has an alicorn, which I didn't really know exactly what an alicorn. I thought it was a unicorn. No, a unicorn doesn't have wings. My daughter tells me.
Yeah, I've been
Um,
lectured by that
but
on that one as well. Yeah, the peg and then the
yeah,
Pegasus is different also, right?
all different.
Yeah, yeah.
But you might be a parent that's not necessarily thinking, oh, I want educational, like this sort of attire. I'm looking for a unicorn shirt. And we weren't, on the SEO side, you would never have found our shirt when typing in unicorn because the title of the shirt is alicorn. Or like the one you were just talking about, there's a sun on the shirt. There's nothing in that title that says sun necessarily. So we've tried to go back and put more of those tags in those on those shirts so that people that are just doing a general shirts for say just math shirts or unicorn shirts or shirts about the solar system or whatever, that our shirts might pop up, which was something that beforehand we weren't really doing. So hopefully that'll have a big impact on people that are just searching for various kids' clothes. We'll
Yeah,
see.
that's yes. Have you done anything with the AI engines or talked to even having a conversation with ChatGPT? I found to be useful. Have you done any of that in terms of, hey, are you getting questions on alicorn shirts currently?
I use ChatGPT all the time. I think that when I had spoken with you briefly, we'd mentioned that part of the way I found this app and kind of stuff was through ChatGPT, and then was like, oh, that's a good idea. How do I, if ChatGPT is kind of becoming the next sort of search engine per se, how do I get it to recommend our clothing? It It said it was not when I talked to it. It said, "Well, we are not a search engine, so you can't optimize." But the suggestion they gave was to go into Google and just optimize all of it with all of its tags because I guess it's pinging off
Okay.
of Google searches and stuff to get people. So hopefully, with that stuff being more optimized, people, the influencers eventually drawing more traffic, the AI will start to go, oh. I have a feeling that you're looking for clothing kind of like this, and then it might start suggesting us. We'll see.
Yeah, yeah, they do seem to like the bigger footprint, the AI engines. I can't remember if we talked about this before, Mark, when we chatted, but they do seem to like the just having that presence out there, the reviews, which you guys have on your homepage, just getting all the general touch points out there, more so than I think traditional SEO, which was, I mean, it's always kind of been a little spammy with there's always been that balance between getting the tags there, but then that's been kind of all there is historically. It hasn't hit all the data points that I think
Yeah.
the LLMs hit on that front. So on the influencers, so that's cool on if we get back to that free product
Yeah.
giveaway to kind of see that working. What's been your procedure there? You just kind of hit them up and if someone's interested, hey, what's your address? We'll send you the shirts.
Yeah, I mean, we tried doing the go find just like on Instagram, go find people that we would want to use as influencers, right? And then just pitch them. That, you pitch 1,000 people, you don't get one response sometimes. I think we had maybe one, right? Doing it that way. Mostly it was finding people that are already following us. So we don't have that big of a following, but the few that we could go through, I would just go like, oh, this is a parent with kids that's following us. Let me just see if they want a free shirt, if they're willing to make a post. Of the like 10 or so that I reached out to, which again, that was only 10, I think we got like 4 or 5. So that was a
Nice.
huge conversion
Yeah, it's really
compared to
nice.
the like, I'm just going to start spamming people on
Yep.
Instagram that have 10,000, 100,000 or whatever followers and you know, ask. And then there's a few other platforms that I've tried using that just seem a little gimmicky. Like it just a lot of the traction that we get is like not brand, like it's someone I would not use, right? The demographic does not match with us. It also might seem, or it seems kind of like it's a fake account. So we've tried those. It's not. I think we've used one influencer from all of those. And then we were going to use a manager that kind of had some influencers, and that just kind of didn't really work out. We're not going to use them anymore. So I was looking for alternatives, like, hey, and Shopify has so many apps that I was just like, there's got to be something out there. I think it was a conversation with ChatGPT. It mentioned this app. I went and did a little research, looked at it, was like, oh yeah, let's sign up for this. This seems like it's really easy, straightforward to find influencers and to have them kind of already vetted so that it's not what those other platforms I was talking about, that it just felt fishy. It didn't feel like legit. Like I was a little worried about where my money was going. What happens if they don't actually follow through on their end? So
Yeah, great. Yeah, we'd love to. Happy to have you here and to host the BrightSee collab. So just to kind of recap it, I think for our influencers, so it is a generous opportunity. So Mark's looking for passionate parents, promoting education, learning, right? So you got these great T-shirts that we can great BrightSee shirts to get on the kiddo here. So just looking for an evergreen post, right, Mark, and then a short reel, which is great because the reels are being favored with the algorithm. So if we can do a short
yeah.
video. That's great. And then add it up as a story is awesome. And Mark's doing a paper post up to $150 per post right now. So it's really a nice opportunity for parenting influencers to try
And
out.
you get a free shirt or two right there. So
Exactly. Yeah. Free shirt or two. And it's not the Mickey Mouse and all this normal, I'm going to say it, junk that we're used to seeing as parents, like a nice educational shirt and they look great too. Something that kind of glorifies, right, being
yeah.
the school learning.
Yeah, we were going for like, I mean, we sometimes see like a vintagey kind of like cool, fun look. I'm not going to say to completely compete with Disney, obviously we're not, but just something that a kid would want to wear that kind of looks fun.
Yeah, for sure. Right. You could wear this. Yeah. Wear it to school, wear it out. And then, I mean, I'm interested. So you have to let me know, Mark, when the adult collection comes out so we can get.
For sure. Also, totally taking suggestions. We've had a few people that we made we have like kind of a beginning book reader collection. So there's a few shirts that are just it shows some an animal or a thing like with books. And we had an influencer that made a post for us, and then one of her followers commented like, "Oh, I wish they had a lawnmower version of this." And I was like, "Oh, it's kind of a good idea. Little kids like 3, 4, 5-year-old do love lawnmowers. Let me see if I can get a lawnmower version together," which we did. And then we now have a lawnmower. And then I reached out to that person and was like, "Hey, do you want a free coupon for this?" So we also, if there anyone out there that, you know, has an idea, we love taking ideas.
That's great. Well, let's get you out of here on this. Let's get you some more followers here for BrightSee. So how can our listeners, viewers follow BrightSee online?
Yeah, for sure. I guess I exactly how to answer this question is a little, I mean, through Instagram and
Yeah,
Facebook.
Instagram's great. Yeah, Instagram, Facebook.
I
Yep.
don't know if I need the actual, it says Bright Sea.
BrightSee
Sorry.
clothes, right?
So is that I'm trying to pull it up as we're talking because I'm like, we've Bright Sea. Yeah, thank you. Bright Sea Clothes, which actually we're trying to adjust some of that stuff because our URL is brightsea.co, but then you try to get everything matched up with like TikTok, Instagram, everything the same name, but sometimes it's taken and you can't. So,
And
but
a lot of stuff's taken. I know we went through this also where we went with Afluencer app for the handles because it was stuff's just taken and people
yeah.
sit on it and it's nothing. So yeah, at BrightSea Clothes on Instagram here to follow BrightSea, and then I'm gonna assume it's the same on Facebook. You got the links. The links are so brightsea.co is the website, and then Mark's got the socials linked also from their website here. We'll get the links in the show
Yes.
notes as well, so we'll make it easy. But
Okay,
just for
perfect,
people
perfect.
listening, yeah.
It's like that's one that I don't have off the top of my head. Yeah, what are all of our links? But yeah, Instagram, Facebook. We do have a LinkedIn. We don't do much on. And then we're starting Pinterest. We're trying to get on there too. So all
Oh,
that
very
stuff.
cool. Yep, I see.
Yeah.
Yeah, at BrightSea Clothes on Pinterest here also. So we've got all
Yep.
that good stuff. Cool. Well, thank you, Mark. Yeah, appreciate you joining. And we'll have you back on when we get the adult stuff and some of the new additions out as well for the new school year next year.
Yeah, and I mean we just started that one campaign and we have two that have already joined that we've sent product to that we're waiting for posts. We have a few others that have tried to join that we're just trying to figure out what we're going to do. So it's going to be once those get posted, it'll be great to see how this whole process actually works with influencers.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, very cool. And if they could, or if you chat with them, if they want to tag us when they post, we can share it also.
Awesome. Yeah, well,
Yeah.
I will tell them that.
Yeah, sweet. Yeah, have them tag us. So we're at Afluencer app. They probably have us already, so they can just tag us, and then we'll see it come through, and we can
Perfect.
push that out there. Very good. Cool. Thank you, Mark. Yeah, appreciate you coming on the show.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Cool. Thanks. Yeah, Mark Boehme with BrightSea, and then we'll have the links in the show notes. And real great collab. So you can be the next influencer to collab with BrightSea. Again, up
Awesome.
to $150 a post, and we'll get the link in the show. Apply, and then we'll get you introduced to Mark.
Thank you.
All right. Thanks again, Mark.